Hi. Didn't I step over you twice last week?
I'm Helen, Mr. Gregg.
Hi, Helen. Peter?
Oh, Mr. Gregg, are you first wagon train to make it through the pass since autumn?
The Indians were friendly, and the spring rains came early this year. Where's Kelly?
Kelly?
Peter, you must remember. Some months ago, a little girl came to live with me, about so big.
Oh, I remember. You look on the couch?
How did this house ever become a hangout for the giggly set? We sure have a sellout crowd today.
These Kelly friends like to come here. Relaxed atmosphere.
This kitchen is the last refuge.
Excuse us.
I better into my bedroom.
Ralph, when you stop going steady with Madeline, call me. Bye.
One goodbye and 7 giggles hang up.
I hope you don't mind all the kids hanging around, Uncle Bentley.
Oh, of course not, dear. I ran the low hurdles at college.
They just like to get away from things.
What things?
Their parents.
Oh, those things. Well, honey, I'm a parent.
But you're sweet. You're not one of those, pick it up, turn it up, go to bed type.
Well, it seems to me that one point or another, I've said all those things, too.
There's a difference.
Yes, I think I know the difference. You don't listen to me.
That's right. You're sweet.
It's my turn. You slept here last week. Kelly promised me. Kelly!
Just a minute.
I missed my turn 2 weeks ago because Mother was in the hospital having Harvey.
Hello?
Is Helen there?
Yes, I'll call her. But I might as well warn you, we can't take any reservations until after the 4th of July.
This is Mrs. Burton, Helen's mother.
Beg your pardon, Mrs. Burton.
Mr. Gregg, would you remind Helen that she still has a home? And I would like her there immediately. Helen, I was under the impression that I asked you to come home and straighten out your closet.
I'll do it tomorrow. Why aren't all parents like Kelly's uncle?
We are not using Kelly's uncle as a criterion of discipline around here. You go put on a clean blouse and be at the table in 5 minutes.
All right. But I still wish you was understanding about teenage problems as Mr. Gregg.
Helen, ever since you've been going over to Kelly's, the discipline around here has completely fallen apart. In the future, young lady, you are going to see less of Kelly.
What's Kelly done?
But it isn't Kelly, it's her uncle. I've talked with some of the other mothers, and none of you are going back there until there are some drastic changes. Charles, it does seem to me that you could speak to your daughter once in a while instead of always letting me be the villain.
Yes, dear.
You didn't hear a word I said.
Well, of course I did. I'll put on a clean blouse and be at the table in 5 minutes.
Hi, Uncle Bentley.
What's wrong, dear?
Kathy and Helen aren't staying over tonight.
Why not? Don't they like the hotel service?
They wouldn't tell me why. They just said they couldn't come. None of the girls are coming.
Oh, nothing to be concerned about. Maybe it's a stay home and meet your parents night.
And they acted so funny at school. Did I do something wrong?
Probably just a coincidence, nothing personal. Tomorrow I'll be low hurdling again.
They sounded as if they weren't coming back again ever.
Oh, honey, girls are fickle. Tomorrow I'm sure you'll be You'll be Elsa Maxwell all over again.
I've done something wrong. And the terrible thing is, I don't know what it is.
Peter, Kelly is very unhappy. You have any idea why our business has fallen off?
Women. I feeling avocados at supermarket. Get whole miserable story.
Well, I'm no avocado feeler, but what is this miserable story?
Playboy Bachelor destroy all discipline. Take parents years to build up.
Playboy Bachelor destroy discipline? How?
Other girls see how you treat Miss Kelly. They revolt. Want to be treated same way at home.
Peter, I believe in discipline. I'm sure that Kelly is as well trained as any of the other girls.
You don't scream enough. Other mothers say you're not strict.
Kelly is going to be boycotted, eh? I don't scream. Didn't you defend me against these witches?
Sure. I say when people not around, you scream, yell. You real monster.
Thank you, Peter. Yes. What are we going to do about the monster's niece?
Could be history.
I'm so sorry I'm late. Please forgive me. I'm Kelly's uncle, Bentley Gregg.
I'm Mrs. Burton, Helen's mother. This is Karen's mother, Mrs. Markham.
And I'm Susan's mother, Gladys Peterson.
Amazing. Mothers of Kelly's contemporaries? Why, you three look like cheerleaders at Beverly High. I hope you won't consider this invitation presumptuous, but I'm naturally interested in anything that affects Kelly's morale. And apparently you've forbidden your daughters to play here.
Oh, well, we certainly never intended to hurt Kelly. We're all very fond of her.
Oh, yes, she's a lovely child.
Well, then why deprive the children of each other's company? Just put yourselves in their place. Go back 6 or 7 years when you were their age.
We've established certain standards of discipline for our children.
Mrs. Markham, we all agree that discipline is important. We just have a different conception of how it should be applied.
Well, after all, you are a bachelor, Mr. Gregg, and maybe your attitude toward children is a little too relaxed.
Possibly. Motherhood hasn't come easy to me, Mrs. Peterson. Why don't we sit down, huh? Mrs. Markham, let me get you a chair. Mrs. Burton, fluff a pillow for you. Let's just kick our shoes off, huh, and be comfortable. Peter, some coffee, please. Of course, I defer to your superior knowledge of the subject. That's why I'm asking your advice.
Oh, yes, we understand perfectly, Mr. Gregg.
It's amazing. You all seem to have intelligence far beyond your years.
Oh, well, I was married when I was 17.
I was 15. I was 9.
Don't overdo it, Gladys.
Of course, Mr. Gregg, this is a very complex problem, and I just don't think it can be resolved in one afternoon. Or 2.
Oh, or 3.
Why, I attended a series of 40 lectures on this one subject.
Well, then you won't consider it an imposition if I ask you back tomorrow for further discussion.
Are you kidding? I mean, after all, this subject is very important to all of us, isn't it?
It is, yes, it is.
Excuse me, let me get some fresh coffee.
Oh, fine.
I'm sorry, Peter. The mothers are being very cooperative. They've offered to come back tomorrow to continue our discussion.
Looks like we have club again. Only difference, the age limit now raised.
How are you?
Oh, yeah, he's so grown up. Exactly like I know. Oh, no.
No, Mr. Gregg. Ladies, this is Mr. Gregg. How do you do?
How do you do?
We thought that by inviting some of the other mothers, we could get a greater cross-section of opinion on the subject.
Mr. Gregg, I think you're to be congratulated for a marvelous civic contribution.
Mr. Gregg, this is Mrs. Rundell.
Well, how do you do, Mrs. Rundell?
Do.
Which of Kelly's friends is your daughter?
Oh, we don't have any children yet, but eventually I'll have to face those problems.
No rush.
Maybe I will tomorrow.
Business so good, I put on extra help.
Fine. How about a bongo quartet?
Mr. Gregg, I've been giving some thought to the theory you expounded yesterday, and I agree. There might be too much tension in the modern home which reflects on the children.
Absolutely true.
Yes, I agree.
Excuse me, please. Hello?
Is my wife there?
I'm sure she is. Which one is she?
Mrs. Burton, would you remind her that it's feeding time at the zoo and that her husband and family are waiting? That is, if she can tear herself away from that soiree.
You certainly made enough of a row tonight when I got home. May I take you in and introduce you to the children? Goodness, you'd think I've been gone a week. Maybe you just don't realize, Charles, that my day starts at 7 o'clock in the morning with you shouting, "Where's my shirt?" And then I have to get breakfast, and I have to take the children to school, and I have to do the shopping and clean the house, and then it's pick-up time again. And when I do see you at night, what do I ever get from you? Do you ever fluff my pillows? The idea of calling Mr. Gregg and embarrassing me like that. And telling me that your mother raised 7 children and nobody ever heard her complain. Well, I'm not complaining. It's just that I think you ought to realize that my life is one endless routine.
Hi, honey. Club closed for alterations again?
Hi, Uncle Bentley. I don't care if I never see those girls again.
Hey. Wait a minute. What's happened now?
I know you had the mothers over so the girls could come back. And you succeeded. The mothers liked you.
This is success. What's happened to the mothers?
The fathers.
The fathers? I feel like I'm on a 3-stage rocket. What have the fathers got against me?
Never mind. Any girls whose fathers say what they said about you, I don't want to have as friends.
哦，自摸吔啦，對對糊滿糊，班又3個花，屙落數唔掂。Expect big turnout. Why waiting? We play mahjong. What else I do with my 2 cousins?
Well, Peter, can I talk to you a minute, please?
You boys get busy.
Yes, go inside and serve each other the hors d'oeuvres. Peter, have you been squeezing avocados lately at the supermarket?
Oh, every day.
Well, then tell me, for Pete's sakes, what's going on with the fathers?
Father's meeting tonight. Half want to ride you out of town on rail. Other half not so lenient.
I get it. I disturb their well-ordered existence. Conform or be killed. Peter, you know all I wanted to do was just keep Kelly from being a victim of a misunderstanding.
You make good progress. And now housewives victim of misunderstanding.
Mr. Gregg, this is Mr. Peterson and Mr. Burton.
Ah. Gentlemen, I'm glad you came. Won't you sit down?
I just came to get a good look at a pillow fluffer.
You're my guest, Mr. Burton. But I may toss you through that window.
Now, Charlie, I spit you out. I'm on your side, but I think we should talk this over.
Thank you, Vicky. We won't need that. Well, perhaps our friends would like something to drink.
Scotch, please. He takes bourbon.
Won't you sit down? Now, may I start this by saying that all this began because my niece, whom I love, became a pariah whose girlfriends were not permitted to visit her.
That's ancient history. We're here about our wives.
You have very charming wives who took a few minutes off from their hectic schedules to sit and have a cup of coffee and talk.
A few minutes? Nobody on my block had dinner on time the whole week.
Honestly. Do you begrudge your wives a little relaxation? You know their schedules begin at 7 a.m. with someone shouting, "Honey, where's my shirt?"
You know that our schedules begin with someone shouting, "Honey, get it yourself." I'm listening to too many soap operas, the suffering, neglected housewife.
Now, how about the suffering American male? You read statistics. Who dies first?
This guy's a bachelor. He doesn't understand real war.
Now, wait a minute. Just where do you fellas get your ideas about bachelors, huh? I'm as hard-working as you are. What do you think? You think we have beautiful girls that barge in here in the middle of the day?
Excuse me, Mr. Gregg. Miss Landers.
I just wish to see him a minute, Vicky. Darling.
Gentlemen, this is Miss Landers, a client of mine.
Gentlemen, I do not like to interrupt an important conference, but this is a matter of life and death. Darling, how do you like my dress?
Very, very nice. In the matter of that contractual dispute, Miss Landers, I think I'll have it settled in just a couple of days.
But Bentley, that was settled 2 weeks ago.
Oh, was it?
Oh, sweet Bentley. Always worrying about his business. Well, I didn't mean to interrupt. Goodbye.
Charlie, where did we ever get our ideas about bachelors?
Fellas.
Yeah, we know. A client.
Chairman of the Board of American Tell and Tell, no doubt.
Maybe a child psychologist?
All right. Never mind the gags. Now, listen. You two guys stormed in here like a couple of vigilantes only because your wives came over to my house, had a cup of coffee, and relaxed.
We could use a little relaxation ourselves. Why aren't you on our side?
I'm not on anybody's side, except my nieces. It's just that everybody brings home pressure. You work all day, decisions, problems. You bring those pressures home with you.
Precious. But that doesn't alter the fact
Charlie, how about going to the ball game this afternoon?
Ball game? My desk is piled that high with work. Mine too. Who cares?
You heard what the man said about relaxing? Come on, Charlie, let's live a little.
No, I really shouldn't. Who's pitching?
Let's go, Charlie. We'll see you later, Greg.
Do you think you accomplished anything, Mr. Gregg?
I don't know, Vicky. Let you know after the ball game.
Bentley, Greg. Come on in, Greg. For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, with nobody can deny.
Like old times again. As an old customer, do you think I can get a table?
Go ahead. Make yourself at all. I'm sorry we all jumped to a hasty conclusion. You know, I am so relaxed now that I think I'll never call Where's My Shirt again. Great place you got here.
If you sign up for the family plan, you can save $50 a year.
Oh.
I told you that was Charlie's car, and there's Sam.
I see mine hidden under a martini.
Hello, Auntie.
Huh?
Dinner has been ready for 10 minutes.
Honey, why do we have to eat the same time every night? Life becomes a rush. We owe it to the children to relax. We don't want them to grow up with the same tensions that we have, do we? Hey, come on, honey. What's that, huh? What do you say?
Uncle Bentley.
Don't give me that look of childish innocence. I think I know who's responsible for that senior prom out there.
I knew Mr. Markham and Mr. Burton were at your office this afternoon. I thought by inviting some of the fathers over, they could see for themselves how wonderful you are and how nice a home I live in.
Parents certainly are lucky to have children they can come home to without problems.
Now to order yours.
Girls, remember, I want you to go home on time. And those of you who are staying, I want you to be in bed by 9:30.
You're very firm.
Now, Peter, I think the other parents learned that perhaps rigidity is not the answer to discipline. And I learned that maybe I was a little too lax.
And I learned how to run a country club.
See that the girls follow my instructions, huh?
Okay, soon as you leave, I call my 2 cousins.
To play mahjong?
No, you make the rules here now. Take 3 strong men to enforce them.
Coming up, Eddie Albert and Eva Gabor in Green Acres.
And tonight at 11 Eastern, Laura wants to talk about sensitivity and relationships. But there's a mystery to be solved on the late night Remington Steele, only here on CBN.